Kia ora and welcome back. Welcome back to this council meeting where we have a couple of very significant and one quite historic item to discuss. So we'll go through a bit of business first. I don't have any formal apologies. I might acknowledge an apology from Denise Happerton, Ahapu Otaki, and note that Councillors Glenn Cooper and Liz Coe are on leave. Do I have any further apologies? I'd like to acknowledge those who are in the room too, elected members, community board members and councillors. We've got quite a number of staff here today, including our iwi partnerships team. And we've got some representatives from Te Atiawa Ki Whakarongotai in our public gallery today too. A very warm welcome to you. Are there any declarations of interest relating to items on the agenda? Anybody wanting to make a presentation in public speaking time? No? Leaves of absence can be communicated to the Mayor's office. I haven't heard of any matters of an urgent nature, so we move on to reports. 7.1, Partnership Agreement. And I'll pass over to Darren to introduce this report.
Thanks, Your Worship. Morning, everyone. No, there's none of that sort of carry on. Look, so it falls to me to introduce this paper, so we'll take it as read. Some comments from me before I pass to Orewia. So an important milestone in the review of the partnership agreement with a partnership that is one of the most long-standing partnerships in local government with our iwi partner, mana whenua partners. So today is the culmination of a heavy piece of work that brought together the partners, Council, Ngā Hapu o Ōtaki, Atiawa Ki Whakarongotai, and Ngāti Toa Rangatira, which is really important. And so I'm really pleased how we worked collectively through the process. We didn't rush the process. We took time, we considered, and we discussed the purpose of the partnership. We looked at the history and we looked at what the future of the partnership meant for us. Because we evolve, right? Like everything, we evolve. And so today is the culmination of that kōrero. And I'm really pleased to be part of the conversation. And I look forward to the discussions ahead and the relationship ahead for the next 30 years, which will far exceed most of us, except maybe Sophie. So with that, I'll pass to Orewia for any finer details. I'd like to congratulate everyone who participated in the development of and the review of what is a strong partnership. Thank you, Your Worship.
Tēnā tātou. I only have a few details to add. This does mark, as Darren said, the conclusion of an extensive review process led by Te Rōpū Honanga Iwi in collaboration with Mana Whenua and Council. The Memorandum of Partnership was last reviewed in 2017. The updated version reflects the current context, responsibilities under Te Tiriti o Waitangi, and the mutual aspirations of our partners. The agreement provided to you has been developed through multiple hui workshops and written feedback from not only our mana whenua representatives, our elected members, but also external consultants. The revised agreement replaces a compliance-based model with a values-based framework grounded in mātāpono, kotahitanga, rangatiratanga, manakitanga and whanaungatanga, and embeds Te Tiriti o Waitangi as the tuapapa or the foundation and offers the concept of a pautoko manawa or central post to represent the partnership moving forward. acknowledging that Mana Whenua and Council have been present and involved in this process over the past 12 months. Through the chair, I'm happy to move to any partai.
Any partai? I'm not seeing any. In that case, I'd like to move the recommendations from the chair so that I can add my 2 cents worth. So we've got recommendations A and B, that Council adopt the revised partnership agreement and that we approve the formal signing on 27th of June. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Martin Halliday, our Te Whakaminenga representative. A huge thanks to the iwi partnerships team, ngā mihi nui, for the work that's gone into this. It did take a little bit longer than we thought it might, as Darren has said, but what we were able to do was truly collaborate on what the new partnership looks like. And it's really beautiful, you know, embedded in those 4 principles that you mentioned. Rangatiratanga, kaitiakitanga, whanaungatanga, and rangatiratanga. So I'd just like to, while we're here today, to acknowledge all the people over the years that have been involved in this kaupapa. It was, as we were putting together the people who we thought should be present next Friday, it was an opportunity to reflect on the people who've sat round the table at Te Whakaminenga, those who've sat on our councils and committees, and all those who've contributed over the years. And I personally would just like to mention Carol Reihana, who passed away a few years ago, who attended those committee meetings even when her health was failing. I think she actually had to be taken away in an ambulance one time. But that was her determination that that her iwi should be represented at this table. And Te Wari Kākik, who I just crossed over with slightly, but who was so influential in setting this up. And all of those who set this up 30 years ago, it was a visionary action and a unique action across the country. And it was courageous. And the council and iwi are both responsible for that. So it's wonderful to be here today as we refresh that, as we make it fit for purpose with our obligations and our relationships with our iwi, which we treasure and value. Every person around this table treasures and values that relationship that we enjoy with our iwi. And we're aware that it comes with some effort and it comes with some sacrifice. And we value that. So thank you for working with us. Thank you for this document and for this kaupapa, which we look forward to implementing over the coming years and decades. Ngā mihi nui. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to say? Kathy.
Thank you. I was just wondering, is there going to be a hard copy in both Māori and English in the councillors' room? It would be good for, you know, to remind councillors that we have this agreement, and it's easier to read in hard copy as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be 2 hard copies, one in full Te Reo Māori and a bilingual version, which is English and Te Reo Māori.
Oh, great. Thank you.
That work is currently underway. Be ready for next Friday.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Very good. Kim.
Kia ora. I just want to acknowledge the iwi partnership team as well as everyone sitting around the table. So when we did take this back, we got some very complimentary feedback about actually, because one of the things you hear is being able to see ourselves in the document, and we were glaringly obvious in this document. So that was one of the comments that came back to us. But the entire process has been grounded in kotahitanga, and it was good going through the wānanga together, because what we uncovered is that although our goals are the same, our perspectives on how we get there are actually quite different, and that's good. That's okay, and we could agree that they were different and still work together. So that's a really key thing to partnership, is that you don't always have to agree, but as long as you're heading in the right direction to the same destination, things normally happen okay. And so we came to that conclusion, and that was awesome. And I'm hoping that we all learn something from those wānanga, that we don't always have to agree, that we can actually have a different perspective and still get to where we're going. And my other hope is that we have captured the essence of the moi moia of those who started this journey all those years ago, because that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to capture what their true intentions were, and it's actually something that sits on your shoulders when you rewrite a document that has been written, trying to understand what they thought and felt, and actually making that relevant to today. So the reason it was a longer journey is because that's a big responsibility, and we seem to have landed something that's pretty close and pretty good. And so probably my tono would be to the incoming members and to the members sitting here. As me Janet has mentioned, it was a brave, courageous thing to do. So continue to be courageous, continue to be brave for anyone who sits around this table, because the benefits and the hua that will come from this partnership can only help our whole community. So, yeah, that's all. Kia ora tātou.
Kia ora. Sophie?
Yeah, kia ora, acknowledging and completely tautoko all the thanks that have already been made to the iwi Partnerships team and mana whenua more broadly. And I too, like Kim, really loved the process, and Oriwio, especially how you were able to like really clearly reflect back to us, okay, here were the post-its that you all fed in, and here's how you can see those woven through the document, whether it be through the mātāpono or the tuapapa. Another thing I would love to potentially see, but acknowledging that it's late in the process to be injecting this idea, is a way of this all being visualised as kind of a whare, or something that demonstrates the interconnectedness of the different elements to the partnership agreement, because yeah, I feel like the story that we were told throughout the process is such a beautiful taonga, and it would be amazing if our community could also understand the relevance of the various bits of the partnership agreement, but then also how they connect and how they fit together so nicely and support each other. So if there's some way we can communicate that moving forward, that would be really cool to see. And also I feel like it's awesome that we've got to this point, and to the Mayor's point, acknowledging the mahi over the last 30 years that have kind of landed us here, and to now be in a really good place. I'm echoing through Councillor Wilson's iPad. Yeah, we saw you in the car actually on the screen coming here. I'm just going to stop.
Who's one?
I feel like it's telling. Okay. Yeah, so it's really cool to be in this place now where we have a document which has been reviewed that we're able to sign off on, and then the next step is how we give this life and how we kind of work to breathe life in it through the way we make decisions at council, through the way that we whakawhanaungatanga and connect with each other. So I'm really keen to see this be very much a living document that, as Councillor Spires said, we kind of are constantly reflecting on and holding ourselves accountable to. And I think as partners, as both being partners to this agreement, we kind of owe that to each other. And so I'm excited to see how we give this life and how we have some of the tough conversations, but ultimately work through it for the betterment of the district. Kia ora.
Thank you, Councillor Hanford. Councillor Halliday.
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. Wow, what a journey. And it's great to be here. But we're here on 30 years of relationship, and that sits on the shoulders of those that have gone before us. And I'm very conscious of that, very conscious of that. I feel it's a privilege to be in this position, that we've brought this document forward. And it's my belief that this builds on what I am seeing as a relationship building in a positive way as we move forward together for the betterment of our communities, of which we are all a part of. I've fully appreciated the Te Māori perspective coming to the table, and Kim, you've been awesome at bringing this to the table. I get it in the air from other people outside of here as well, but the amount of conversations I have, and then that perspective comes in and I go, yeah, hadn't thought about it like that. I appreciate that because it broadens my thinking and my understanding of things as well. Little thing to just consider, is I think this sets us up really well. We're in a pre-settlement phase, moving into post-settlement. And I think this lays a very good framework with regards to how we participate in that process, because that's only going to bring economic fortune to our area if we do embrace it as such. So very much looking forward to seeing how that evolves as well. My call out would be to council with regards to we're about to change triniums, that induction process incorporates this document into that, and that induction process covers all 3 of our iwi. And I'm hopefully looking forward to that process in coming months' time. So thank you very much for the iwi team. That's been a development this trinium as well, which has, I think, led to a more full and inclusive approach around this, and it's been great having a very open, or being able to have a very open dialogue as well. That's been appreciated from my end as well. So I look to where we're at when I came in. I think we're in a better place at the moment, and for me that's a win. So looking forward to hopefully being a part of this as we move forward together. Actually, no matter what way I move forward with regards to my future, I certainly will be a part of this. So looking forward to that.
Councillor Warwick.
I just wanted to thank Kim for giving us her time all of the time when she comes to meetings, and giving us a really level and well thought out perspective. It's really helped, and we're really lucky to have regular catch-ups with Nahapu, Ani Denise and Kim, and so that relationship is building and safe, and I think we've had the opportunity to thrash things out safely, and no feelings hurt, no one goes, we get on with it, and it's been great. Thank you, Kim. You've really made the table a better place to sit.
Talk with that. Councillor Coфord.
Well, thanks, Madam Chair. I'd just like to acknowledge the whakamingana with the early days, with the workshops we had for town planning and urban panels and things like that. And we didn't work as silos, we all worked together, and your input has been absolutely phenomenal with regard to spatial planning, mountains, the sea, the land use, and thank you very much. Look forward to working in the future with you.
Councillor Wilson.
Kia ora. Just wanted to acknowledge the work that's been done by Rewa and Hara and the iwi partnerships team, and the 30 years of people inputting into relationships here. And I use the example from where I came from in Porirua of Ngāti Toa and the Porirua City Council, and the relationship that they had, a genuine partnership down there, and it has been enormously advantageous to both parties, and that's what a good partnership is, right? And I think this partnership will add enormous value to our entire community. There are people who think it's a bad idea or whatever. Those people will be the beneficiaries of this as well. This is a really good way forward, and while everybody's saying wonderful things about Kim, I have no idea why. But it's a good example of a perspective that comes to the table that enlightens. So there you go, you are the enlightened one. And it works that way, and it's fantastic, and it adds value. Anything that adds value has to be good. This is going to add enormous value, I think, as we go forward.
Kia ora, thanks for that. Before I put it to a vote, Richard or anybody from the back there, did you want to add anything? Put you on the spot.
I was actually enjoying just having a bit of popcorn up the back there, but I'll say some lovely things about Kim as well. I think actually that not just Kim, but I think the summary's been beautiful here from what I've heard here this morning. I'm only new to this space, but what I'm hearing is absolutely beautiful. Music to our ears. This is the way we want to respect the past and move forward to even better horizons to reach our moemoeā. I think it's very timely the fact that we're heading into Matariki Mapuanga. It's a time for reflections and respecting our past, and also a time for setting goals for the future. So I just want to sing Rawiri's puts his apologies in for today, our tumuaki. I just want to express our great gratitude. I want to say ngā mihi ki a koutou, ngā mihi ki te Kaunihira, for this awesome mahi that's gone into the space. We know that something's right about everything that's gone on, because our Kaunihira kaumātua have said that this partnership review, that the document is very clear in its intentions, which for us, if our kaumātua say that, then that's a beautiful thing too. And also from our trustees as well, from our board that reviewed it, and obviously very happy with this. So we're just merely holding the rākau, but we're holding it holding it up higher to a better place, so that when we do pass on that rākau, it's in an even more beautiful space than it is now. So we do need to breathe life into this new review and carry it on with the intentions that it was formed for. So I want to pay a deep respect for those people that started this 30 years ago. This journey, it's an amazing thing that's happened, and it will continue to enrich this community working together, and we will create better opportunities and outcomes for the rangatahi that are going to be our leaders of tomorrow. And it's our goal to hold that rākau high with pride, and we'll always have these documents in the middle of the table, even if we can't see them in all of our discussions. And we really just look forward to the mahi-tahi for the future. So I commend all of the mahi and all of the tautoko we're hearing today on behalf of Te Atiawa ki Whakarongotai. Tēnā koe.
Ngā mihi
Tēnā
nui.
koutou.
So I think it's appropriate that mana whenua have the final word, so I'll waive my right of reply, and I'll put this to the vote. All in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? It's carried. Now we need to put it into action. Right. So now we have 7.2, which is appointment of mana whenua representative. We've also got an extra appointment to make today, which came through later. We had noticed that Anne Mahia Sidwell will be the representative for Atiawa ki Whakarongotai Charitable Trust on the Climate and Environment Committee. So rather than producing a separate paper, I thought it appropriate to add it to the paper today. So really great that we've got that representation. So thanks to Anne. Or Mahia. Great. Anna, so you can introduce this paper?
Yeah, kia ora koutou. So just we've had a letter from Atiawa ki Whakarongotai Charitable Trust, just proposing Rawiri Tāwhai Botsworth and Richard Evans as alternate as their representative at meetings of council just for the remainder of the triennium. And late yesterday we also received a letter nominating Anne Mahia Sidwell as representative on the Climate and Environment Committee meeting. So if that's acceptable to the table, we've drafted an extra recommendation to cover that off as well. But happy to take any questions.
Any questions? Can we put that extra recommendation up, please? So apologies if I've missed it in the paper, but so we've got some appointments to council, strategy, operations, and finance. Where does that sit?
We understood that further appointments were coming at later dates. So as they find appropriate candidates to represent them on the committees, they'll.
Yeah. While you're in the room, Richard, I just want to make sure that we've communicated really clearly the significance of the delegations that we put into the Strategy, Operations and Finance Committee. A lot of the grunt work of council is actually done in that committee, and also mana whenua have voting rights on that committee. So arguably, it's just as important as council in terms of the decision making that goes on around that table. So I'll leave you to take that away. But of course, always welcome to attend, regardless of a formal decision to that effect. Okay, so but I think we'll leave them as is today, and we'll tweak later if we need to. So we've got A and B there now. Do I have somebody to move those?
Sorry, Madam Chair.
Question?
Could I just ask for a point of clarity?
Sure.
The recommendation talks to council meetings with speaking rights only in line with the formal. It's only the council meetings. Does that wording cover all the other committees as such, or is it specifically for the council? Cool. That's, I just wanted to get some clarity on that. That was all.
So I'm just going to consult.
That's agreeable with Richard.
So Rich,
Because
it's a little bit unusual, but I just think it might be good to sort it out today. So Richard, how do you feel about us adding in the strategy, operations and finance meeting, or is that something you'd need to take back?
That's something that we'll take back, yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, that's something we'll take back, because this recommendation that we've put in is just for the main council meeting for this one. This is for Rawiri as representative, myself as an alternate. We are still establishing our members for the other committees, subcommittees.
Gotcha. Cool.
Ka pai?
Okay, that's great. Okay, so I'll look for a mover for those recommendations as they stand. Moved by Councillor Kirby, seconded by Councillor Spires. Right of introduction. Does anybody else have anything to say? Councillor Kirby, right of introduction. There we are. Sorry, we're just waiting for the microphone.
Great. My only comment is excited to see this. As we, I know around this table it has been a conversation on we really need to have these representatives to represent our partnership that we've just agreed to into these meetings, and so it's really great to see some movement here. So thank you to Atiawa for bringing this to us to add to what we've already got. Thank you.
Richard, do you want to?
Yeah, I should have added also te whakaminenga for Rawiri and myself as well. Just to make sure you're aware of that. That was also sent through as well. You guys received that?
Apologies. Yeah, so this the council will just appoint members with speaking rights to council.
Yeah.
But Te Whakamininga is separate, and our iwi partners just nominate their own members to that committee.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Ka
that's
pai.
sorted. That's sorted. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to see this too. Thank you to the iwi partners who have made the commitment to represent at our council meetings, and we certainly look forward to your attendance at those. Councillor Wilson?
Yeah, I was going to raise it on the last one actually, but just to underline some of the importance of these representations is that people will have noted that the High Court recognised Atiawa Ki Whakarongotai's entitlement to customary marine title a couple of days ago, which was quite important. But just a quick note from that, where Te Hema Baker from Whakarongotai said that the decision affirmed what they had always known and expressed about the nature of their rights and interests in relation to Takatai Moana. And as she said, we don't need a court decision to tell us we hold mana whenua and mana moana in our own rohi, but the rights granted by CMT to give us useful legal mechanism to exercise that mana in consenting and other processes. And those rights include the ability to veto resource consents and conservation permissions, rights for particular activities, as well as input into local plans and national policy statements. So this is really important stuff, and so again, it underlines the importance of having our iwi partners at the table. Just sort of highlight
Thanks
that.
for sharing that.
Yep.
Right of reply? Waived. I'll put that to the vote. All in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? That's carried. So we'll now close with the karakia. Kia tau ngā manakitanga ki runga i a tātou katoa. Kia hua ai te mā kihi e ki ana. Kia toi te kupu, kia toi te reo, kia toi te wairua, kia tau te mauri, ki roto i a mātou mahi katoa i tēnei rā. Haumi e hui e, tae ki e. Manawatia a matariki, everybody.